What's up, everyone? I'm gonna get a few things set up before I start. Is the camera and audio clear? Can anyone give me feedback on that? Okay. Okay, so I'm sure for anyone who follows my channel or Jake's channel, you've seen my video, you've seen his, you've probably seen our back and forth now for a long time. I'm gonna try to unpack everything. I'm gonna try to just leave it at this, and we don't have to go back and forth. If Jake doesn't want to talk to me, if he wants to ban me from his channel, that's fine. That's all fine. I mean, it's happened for a long time. But look, I don't feel like a victim. I don't feel hurt. I'll kind of give where I'm coming from with this. Sorry, let me turn my phone on silent. All right, so this is YouTube, right? If anyone makes these, soft, easy tone videos, and you're not, first of all, you're not gonna get any engagement. Two, it's boring to watch. So yes, when I make videos, I'm gonna be animated, right? I'm gonna be boisterous. I'm gonna, give my opinions. I'm gonna make definitive statements. That's what I do on my channel. All right. The only live that was ever scheduled was the one where he came on mine. And it was on my channel, and there was a lot of people in the chat that were attacking him sometimes. So I just wanted to be gracious because he, came on my channel and took the time to do that. But every single time I came on his channel, it was not planned. It was spur of the moment. It wasn't like I was invited. It was just like I was in the chat and people were telling him to bring me on. So he brought me on, and it was always with like 3 or 4 other people. So it was really hard to ever keep a train of thought going or a debate going. And it was always just kind of a mess. And so you had to kind of fight to get your voice heard. You had to fight over 3 different people to actually make a point. And then every time that point got made, it got so convoluted by the time the mic time got back to you that it was impossible to have a debate. And so I guess that's what made it so hard to ever, I guess, have true debates on subjects with him, because it just got turned into all these things. I think if we could ever sit down just one-on-one again and just hash out our thoughts and actually get to the bottom of things instead of leaving everything unanswered by the end of it, I think we can get somewhere. And what's funny about this, I know Jake doesn't care about, views and all that stuff on his channel, but if you look at his lives, all of his top 10 lives, every time I'm in a live, it's in the top 10. I mean, they all get, this is what people want to see. They get engagement, they get views. People want to see the back and forth. And I know a lot of times Jake says he has people on there that give the back and forth, but it just seems like with me, I'm not soft, right? I'm able to stand my ground. I'm able to not let him dominate me or dominate the conversation. And I'm able to stay on point and actually challenge the ideas and the things he puts out. And in my opinion, a lot of people that he's had on either don't do that or are friends of his, or it gets that kind of that soft, mushy talk, or let's all be collectors. And that's fine. There's a spot for that in the community, but there's also a spot for debate. And I think the engagement interaction you see on those videos proves that. And so that's all I've ever gotten at. I mean, this whole, feeling like a victim, I'm not a victim, all right? I was in the live the whole time just now in Jake's. I couldn't talk. I was banned. I was talking to Catch 'em All Collectibles and some other people on Instagram while it was going on. Yeah, I could have went and made a new email account and got in there, and it wasn't worth it though. I mean, Jake doesn't want me there. Why am I going to be there? For anyone who, the first thing I'm gonna say, for anyone who grew up playing like sports or, was in any type of groups like that. I grew up playing ice hockey, and then I did mixed martial arts. Okay. So banter back and forth, like it just came natural to me. That's just how it was. Right. You fought hard at each other. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, let's go get something to eat. Okay. Let's play some video games. Like you fight with your friends or people that you feel like you have that enough relationship there to go back and forth with. Well, the same thing I saw happening in E4, which I talk about, was if you had differences of opinions, you would get beat down, and then every time you would try to, give your response, they would delete that, and then you would try to do it more, and they would they would just delete your thread, or then eventually they'd ban you. And that's what I'm talking about. I see kind of creeping into the YouTube space is like, no one wants to let other people speak. I mean, you heard Jake say it. And again, I'm not attacking Jake. I'm going to make certain not to attack him or his character. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. Okay. But banning 20 or 25 people, deleting comments. Look, I'm sure he can come on my video and see a bunch of negative comments about him, but you're going to see a lot of negative comments about me on my videos too. I will never delete a single comment. I will never delete anything anyone says about me. I'm just not going to do it. I read every comment. I used to reply to every single one with a written response. It's gotten kind of too much for that. So, but I always at least, respond and show that I've seen it. And I try to reply to 90% of them. And so I try to be as transparent as possible about how others feel about me or how I feel about things in the industry. And I get it. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm innocent here. My style comes off abrasive. I do want to, attack it head on. I don't want to play this backdoor passive aggressive style. I just want to tell you to your face exactly what I think. And when you get banned, you can't do that anymore. And so I put a video out. It was all the things that I had issues with, as Jake said, that he wouldn't ever give a real full debate. Every time it was bring 4 other people on, and it goes, oh, we got to end this soon, or oh, I don't want to get into this. Let's stop talking about this. Let's change the conversation. And so I finally just made a video. The banning kind of pushed me over the edge. Like, hey, here's how it is. Here's what I've heard you say the whole 2-3 years I've been following you. Stop acting like I'm putting words in your mouth or making things up every time I challenge you on an argument. That's all it was. And sure, I probably went about it a little wrong way, attacking his business. But you live and you learn. Like he said, no one's perfect. But I just wanted to make sure everyone knew I don't feel like I'm being attacked by all of YouTube. I don't feel like a victim, but I do feel like creators, Jake sometimes, Pokéknowledge sometimes, Mason, these creators that I've attacked, I don't feel I'm attacking them. I'm just making content contradictory to what they're putting out, because I feel like they're putting out is a disservice to the community. They're maybe not purposely, but in my mind feels like they're purposely leaving out the positive parts of the other side of the debate in favor of what favors them, in favor of what worked for me and them back before the 2020 boom. I mean, I get it. We all made a whole bunch of money, some more than others, but to think just because you have that going for you that now you're an expert on however the market performs into, the sunset, that's not the way it is. You have to constantly be learning, constantly be evolving, constantly learning the new market trends, the shifts. And you have to play with it. Hey, there could come a time, when modern booster boxes aren't investable. I don't know. There was a time when ETBs were the best investment. They were over booster boxes. That time has shifted. I've tried to tell people that, like, yeah, I used to be on board with the ETBs back in Sun and Moon, or at least, and now it's starting to shift back to booster boxes. So the things shift. You have to be ready for that. And so that's all I ever try to get out in my channel. Also, I've spoken a million times. I've always addressed my channel as for the everyday person. So yeah, I'm not going to have the kind of content Jake has where he does 3-hour live stream deep dives into all the nuances of Pokemon. I don't think the average person has that kind of time on their hands, or even wants to put forth that kind of effort. And so my channel is based on, 8 to 15 minutes, sometimes a little more, videos, trying to condense the point of what I'm trying to get out down to a digestible time limit. And I try to fit, enough information in that to where people can actually take the time to hear the whole thing, and it's actually going to benefit them to whatever they're trying to collect or invest in. And so that's all I've been trying to do. I'm gonna look at the chat and see what people have been saying. And look, if anyone's here from Jake's channel or doesn't like me, throw it out. Like, let's talk about it. Like, let's talk about whatever, your beef is with me. I'll try to respond to it. If we're just on the opposite sides, that's fine too. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Again, everyone's different. Jake, like he talked about, he may be a little softer. He you know, and that's fine. You know, me, I got thick skin. You can say whatever you want to me. I guess it feels like I make myself a victim sometimes because I make content trying to call people out or trying to, you know, challenge their views. But I promise I am not a victim in any way. Feel free to say whatever you need. Get it out. Let's just get it out. Let's get it all talked about. And after this, you can decide to love me, hate me, you know, subscribe to the channel, unsubscribe to the channel. It's all good. Like Jake said, YouTube's a big place. Pokemon's a big place. Follow the creators that you think are going to be the most help to you and they're going to entertain you the most, and we'll go from there. So I'm just going to kind of go down. Let's see. Train Strong, Blazer, DeHan, what's up, man? Timmy's Investments. I think that used to be Losty. Mr. Walrus. Mr. Walrus had one of the best comments in my last video. You should go check that one out. It's hilarious. All right, Pokebarn. All right, so I'm going to start reading some of these. Pokebarn. I think one of this one after Jake's live, people might think you're combative and mean. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying not to be. I'm not combative, not mean. You know, Jake made a decision. I don't agree with his decision. I'll say that. I don't agree with banning people. Now, like Dan, me and him were messaging on Instagram. I get it if someone's being like belligerent, vulgar, or spamming. Yeah, I get it. You can ban that. But I've never done that. I've never been vulgar. I've never, you know, spammed. I've always just gave the counter arguments, right? Played devil's advocate to what was being said on screen. I always gave, you know, my side of the argument, which I don't think is bannable, but Jake felt differently. It's fine. It's his prerogative. It's his channel. Let's move on. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Is there beef going on? Feel like I missed something. Yeah. All right. Larry chomping at the bit. Let's see. Have you seen CTR saying Scarlet and Violet is the end of Pokemon because he didn't like the Pokemon? Yeah, Cool Trainer Ryan. Hey, I love Cool Trainer Ryan, man. I mean, I'd love to be able to do a live or any type of collaboration with him. I mean, I know he's really good friends with Pokéknowledge, so that's probably out the window. But hey, it's what it is. No, I'm not going to think bad about Ryan. I mean, here's the thing: anyone who just comes out and speaks their mind and will back it up and doesn't care, I'm a fan of that. Even if I don't agree with it, I'm still a fan of that. Like, speak your mind. Don't be afraid to say what you're thinking. Don't, you know, always be sitting the fence. Don't think, you know, you have to be all soft and mushy. I mean, just say what you're thinking. If people don't like it, they can click off. No one's forcing anyone to be here, right? That's how I see it. All right, let's see. We need a live of Jake, Nostalgianomics, Reserved Investments, and Rudy. That would be awesome. I mean, that's the dream, right? To get on a live or be in a video with Rudy. But honestly, if I were to ever do a live with Jake, I would, even if he asked me to, I would never do it again unless it was just me and him. I'm not doing any more of those 4-person or 3-person lives. It gets too mixed up. You know, the other 2 people like are trying to get their words in, and then it becomes a mess. So the only time I'd ever do that is if it was just me and him again. I just feel like those 4-person lives, they just get too convoluted, you know. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna make my way down, guys. Just give me a second. All right. Dang, that was fast. This dude was really the fly on the wall, rubbing his hands together. Well, yeah, I mean, it's Good Friday. I'm off work, and you know, it got sent to me on Instagram that he was doing a live. So yeah, I hopped on and saw what he was saying and made it about halfway through. Oh, before I go to comments, I did want to address something because Jake didn't make it to the end of the video. If for anyone who didn't watch my video, I did show the actual charts of the S&P, of Berkshire Hathaway, which Jake said he owned, of, you know, basically you can look at any chart you want of the stock market, the Dow, the S&P, you can look at mutual funds, you can look at Berkshire Hathaway. In the last 5 years, in the last 10 years, you'd be seeing like 150, 200% growth. And that's over 10 years. In 5 years, it's more like, you know, 60 to 70% growth. And so that's roughly like 15 to 20% a year is what you would have seen in the stock market year over year. Berkshire Hathaway doesn't pay dividends. Then if you own certain funds, maybe, but even the compounding interest of the dividends, Pokemon blew it away. I mean, 10 years, you're talking early XY, right? You're talking, you know, XY base, Flash Fire, Phantom Forces, Furious Fist, all over $1,000, all over 1,000% return. And then you take an average of all XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of percent. Maybe Jake was talking about if you go back in like the mid 2000s when Pokemon was nearly dead, like I'm not talking about that. I'm saying modern, like everything from XY on, you're going to crush the stock market. Any returns you go in any fund you find. I mean, that's where I was going with that. So I don't know where he thinks I was wrong on that. I mean, if he made a video and showed the charts, I can believe it, but I don't know where he's finding it. I couldn't find it on any funds that I can research in S&P, Dow, Berkshire Hathaway, anything he was talking about. So that's where I got my numbers from. Just want to talk about how Nostalgianomics whiteboard is painfully underutilized. I know, right? I need to set up like an actual YouTube studio, get a real mic, which I get crap for all the time. That's what I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm gonna get on, I'm gonna research mics, I'm gonna order a good mic so I can stop getting yelled at for that. People telling new collectors to invest in modern mass-printed cards with reprints, not the way to get popular. Yeah, I mean, to each your own. I mean, I've seen success in modern for the past 8 years. But yeah, I guess it could end anytime. Let's see. How are you, my friend? I don't know, bro. Uh-oh, skip to the bottom. Let me run back up here. All right. Okay. Nostalgianomics, you should look behind you at the poster on your wall and take it that meaning of what it means. The success poster. Okay. Okay. Aaron Scott, what's up, man? Road to 5K. I hope. All right. School trainer Ryan stuff. Okay, I'm trying to find where I was. A lot of people aren't interested in Scarlet and Violet. That means more product will stay on the shelf. Good for the kids and good advertisement. Yeah, I agree with that. Scarlet and Violet, it's coming out of the gate slow. You know, here's how I feel about it. I think you need to have rarity in a set. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a base set, or oh, it's nice to not have to chase, like a Moonbryon through, cases and cases worth. But I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you look at other TCGs and stuff, and like Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball Super, I mean, they all have extreme rarities, and usually the rarest cards, at least when a set comes out, is gonna be worth as much or more than the box is. So it gives you that chase aspect of being able to, get more in the expected value if you pull that card. And so, when you have cards that are only worth $50, $60 out of the gate and the boxes are going for 120, it just really, I mean, for anyone, looking to take that gamble and crack packs, it doesn't have that reward there. I mean, you can look at the latest Dragon Ball Super set. There's cards for like $1,000, $500, $300 out of a $75 or $70 box. And, I just feel like Pokemon needs some sort of rarity. I mean, I get the whole players and kids and you want to make it easier, whatever, but that was one of the issues XY had, is you could open every XY set, like open a case and you're going to have every card in the set, which is cool for be a collector. But, as far as like wanting something to chase after, I mean, it doesn't create that urge to chase after it. I mean, what's going to be the urge in 10 years for those boxes to be open? I agree. Now for me, am I still going to buy a couple cases? Yeah, just because I buy every one of them. If my budget was tight and, $1,000 or $1,500 was a big deal, this is one of those sets I might skip. I'll be honest. I mean, it's probably, it could still perform well, but yeah, it's not one of like my favorite investments that I've seen out the gate, like some of the other sets. All right. A lot of people aren't interested. Okay, I just read that one. Hey, Ray, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Ray trying to get banned to prove a point. Nah, no one gets banned from my chats. Not a single person. You can spam all the negative stuff you want at me. I promise you will not get banned. All right. Let's see. Cool Trainer Ryan is literally a fan of market manipulation, so I'm not surprised. I don't know about all that. I mean, Ryan's been in the game a long time. I do think there should be a presidential debate segment between you two. Oh, between me and Jake. Yeah, man, I'd love to have Jake on or go on Jake's channel, or even do it off YouTube. See, that's another thing I want to address. People think I'm just like chasing views or chasing viewers. Like, okay, what? Jake's channel's a little more than double mine. Great, yeah. I mean, he has more viewers than me. But it's really not why I'm doing it. I wasn't making videos against Pokéknowledge to try to provoke or find new viewers. I'm just making content where I see fit. If I see, things in the community that I think are negative or that I think are not being portrayed in the right light, I just go head on. I call it out. I don't try to to dance around it or take the passive aggressive approach or not name names, which apparently is a horrible thing when you name a name. And here's the funny thing: I've tried not to name names in videos before, and I get called out for that. And so it's a lose-lose situation. But I'd rather just face the problem head on, call people out, kind of just hash it all out, get it all out in the open, and then move on. Kind of like back in the day, right? Back in like our parents or their parents' generation, right? You get in a fight with someone, you'd fight it out. You'd either be friends or you'd go your separate ways. It wasn't, all this, like cyberbullying and, all the crazy stuff that happens nowadays. And I just wish it was like that. Like, hey, we both have different opinions. Let's hash it out. Let's end it. And, let's not end it too soon, right? Let's let each other get all their points out. If it has to be a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour live till we both feel that we've got every point out, that we've hashed out everything we have inside of us, that we're not leaving anything, that we're not bringing up, that would be the best way to handle it, other than this like passive aggressive banning, video back and forth style. But that's just me. Let's see. Question, Mr. Walrus. I'm sure this is going to be good. My sealed product has gone up in price astronomically. I've been cracking and selling individual cards to make shipping easier. I'm not seeing the same returns. What gives? I think it's the volume, man. I think you just got to just keep cracking it, and eventually it catches up, maybe. Why are Poketubers such good-looking people? Yeah, that's why I wear a hat in all my videos. I'm not bald though. See, I do have hair. I'm not bald. Alex is my friend. Be nice. Jake is my friend as well. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna promote that same message Jake had. Like, don't go hate on Jake. Don't attack him. I strongly disagree with a lot of his opinions. I think he definitely goes back and forth on things, and he could say, well, his opinions change on the market conditions, and that's fair. But I strongly remember when I started watching him on YouTube, a lot of the plays I was making were plays he was directly talking against. And I'm talking about like back in X, Y, and early Sun and Moon. And so that's kind of a lot of the stuff I was trying to get out in the open. But hey, he may have seen it a different way or thinks I'm portraying it wrong, and that's fine. That's fine. Walrus, you're just unlucky. Keep ripping till you hit the moon brown or something. I agree, man. Just keep ripping them. Keep ripping them and making less of that sealed product. Let's see. What do we got? Silent Gamer. I'm making up to 10 times sometimes on singles. Way better than the stock market. TCG player for the win. All right. All right. Good to hear. Let's see. It keeps jumping to the bottom on me. I need to get one of those fancy streaming things like Jake and Dan use, where you can actually pull the comments on the screen. All right. Why do you hide behind the hat? Show the great hair, brother. I've been buying 400 Evos guys if you asked without a hat. I just showed you, man. I'm not hiding much, I got some hair. Let's see. Perfect marketing. When pull rates are horrible, that way always buy more packs. Yeah. Let's see. If anyone's got questions or wants me to, expound on anything that Jake had in his live or my last video, just leave them. I'd be happy to kind of clear the air, squash the beef, and not worry about this anymore. I actually told Dan, I was messaging him on Instagram, Catch 'em All Collectibles. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I'm just going to make a live right after this just to get it over with. I don't want to take the time to make a video and go through all the commenting and do this again and again. I just thought I'd squash it all. All right. It's not about views, and highest subs quality is much better than quantity. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, I'm not. Here's the thing. Go look at my channel right now. Like the videos, and I've said this from the very beginning, the videos where I've called out people like Jake or Pokéknowledge or Mason, those aren't the highest viewed videos on my channel. And so, and honestly, some of them, even this one I just made, I expected to lose subs from it because I know me and Jake have cross audience. I expected to lose subs. I mean, I didn't lose many, but I put them out because I feel like they're needed. It's not just about chasing views or chasing clout or whatever it is. All right. You need more lives. Being on great guests like Ray. Yeah. Yeah, no, Ray, I'm gonna reach out to you, man. I do want to start having lives again. I'll get a streaming software again and start, paying for it and getting lives going again. Now that I have some more time on my hands these days. All right, reposting because it was skipped. Do you think pre-recorded content versus live streams can lead to some disconnects or issues, disagreements? Give recorded stuff to planned and lives are off the cuff. I mean, yes and no. Like if it's like a strongly edited video and it's well thought out and put together over multiple days or something, the videos I make, I mean, I may push record 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times if I just can't get my thoughts right, but they're pretty off the cuff. I have a subject. I kind of have an idea of where I'm going with it in my head, and I just kind of ramble through the whole 8, 10, 12-minute video. So yeah, if it's like strongly edited and you really take the time to get every point correct and you have visuals and things, yeah, I could see it being a little more disconnected than a live. But my pre-recordeds are pretty close to this, like what I'm doing right now, like a live. And so I don't think it's that big of an issue. I mean, I think lives are definitely better. But lives, you have to be on when other people are on to have a chat going and stuff, where some of my videos are filmed like either really early in the morning before work or really late at night. And it might not be the best time for lives. So, they're both relatively needed in the community, I think, lives and, pre-recorded. All right, let's see. As a follow-up, I think there's a lot more agreement than it seems. Yeah, there's definitely agreement. I just don't believe in silencing people. I don't believe in banning people unless there's like I said, it's like a spam or vulgar or something like that. I don't believe in banning people for opinions. No matter what they are. And like I said, I know me and Jake have different opinions, but I just wish you would just admit that, things have been wrong sometimes instead of, just trying to talk around it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to attack Jake. I'm not trying to attack him. He's got his way of doing things. I have mine. That's all there is to it. All right. Let's see. To be honest, was that rant video really just for content? No, it really was not. Everything I said in that video, I've been trying to get out in the live streams with Jake in the debates. And somehow, like I said, there's too many people in the debates. It never truly gets through. It's never like just me and him able to hash it out. And then, yeah, that banning me, that just kind of put me over the edge. Like, okay, if he really doesn't want to talk about it, then I'm just going to throw it out and see what other people think about it. And I knew he would respond to it. And I just wanted to get things out in the open. I like to air things out. I don't like to keep them all suppressed. I don't want to be all soft and fluffy or passive aggressive with it. I just want to, attack it head on. Here's how I feel. Here's how you feel. Let's hash it out. That's all that was. All right. So let's see. It should be way bigger. Let's see, Justin Boyd. It should be way bigger set so pull rates won't be quite as ridiculous and starters being in it is Tinkaton. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope collectors and players and people love it. I mean, I hope it continues to build the community. At first looks, I'm not a huge fan of it. Like there's a few cards that are pretty cool, and then I'm just not a huge fan. But maybe that's because I'm, not growing up with it. Maybe the kids who got their first game is Scarlet and Violet, and now they're seeing the cards with all the same characters they've been playing with and catching in the game. Maybe it's going to be a huge deal to them. I don't know. I mean, I played Pokemon Violet and played through it and beat it. I mean, it's an awesome game. It's a really fun game. It's a far cry from Pokemon Red and Blue, like what I grew up with. Like it's amazing having the open world concept but yeah, it's just I don't have a lot of connection to the Pokemon. Of course, all the Pokemon I was going after were Gen 1, Gen 2, maybe even some Gen 3 Pokemon, the ones I remember. So let's see. Blazer LP, what are your thoughts on reprints? Yeah, they're coming. I mean, they're coming. I kind of said it in one of my videos is if you're in this like for the long term, like kind of like Rudy said in one of his, like next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I truly don't believe there's going to be a Sword and Shield set lower than it is right now. I think they're all going to be higher. Are the reprints going to drop the prices of those sets reprinted? Absolutely. From what I've heard, they're not going to be huge giant reprints, so it's probably not going to affect them for too long or too much. I could be wrong, but yeah, if it's something like you're really worried about your net worth in Pokemon dipping and you really believe that you can get back in at a better price after the taxes, fees, shipping, all that, maybe you should sell. Or maybe if you don't want to be on those products, and sell. If it's something that you plan on holding a long time, I think it's just going to be a blip on the radar, just like every other reprint's been in the history of Pokemon. That's how I feel about the reprints. Alex making fun of bald people now. Yeah, that's it. All right, did it to me again. Dropped me all the way down to the bottom. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can find my spot back. And guys, if I'm skipping your comments, I'm sorry. It's just I'm trying my best to navigate. I haven't been on a live in a long time. I forgot how all this works. Let's see. Trying to start from scratch, where would you go? It really depends on your time and effort you want to put in. When I started from scratch, I just started spending my extra money buying things I liked. And then when I started, wanting to try to build my collection for free, I just looked for anything and everything I could flip for a profit. It was sealed product, it was packs, it was singles, it was, buying raw to grade, it was buying huge collections in lots, breaking them down, doing the legwork and making money. That's usually the best spot if you don't have a large amount of capital. If you have a large amount of capital in a short amount of time, I'm always going to say sealed product, and especially booster boxes. That's what I do, because my capital is larger now in this stage of my life. My time is less, and so I go the sealed product route. If you have tons of time, and you can put in the energy and you're knowledgeable, you can make more flipping. I'm just going to tell you. If Retrospecs is in here, he loves me saying that. All right. If you don't have haters, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got anything, right? Yeah, guys, anyone starting a YouTube channel or doing anything on social media and doesn't think you're going to have people hating on you, I mean, come on, you've got to be crazy. You have to be ready for that. Like I said, I have thick skin, so I'm ready for it. I'm completely okay with anyone challenging me or coming at me. It doesn't bother me. So again, I'm not playing the victim. I just don't think people should be silenced, because here's the thing, like Jake said multiple times, Alex has a channel. Alex can go make content and say what he wants. Yeah, Alex has a channel. But what about those other 20, 25 people you banned, some of who reached out to me and told me that they banned you, that you banned them on Instagram or Discord, they reached out to me, but they don't have a channel. And then you can say, well, they can make a channel. Yeah, but you and I know how hard it is to actually make a channel, grow it, gain subscribers, get actual views. I mean, that's a hard, long process and not something everyone can do. So no, they can't just go make a channel. So when you silence all those people, they don't have a platform, right? They'll just get kind of drawn out in different Discord groups or Instagram or chats. And so that's who I'm standing up for, is the everyone, right? The people who don't have channels, who can't go make videos, who don't have platforms and can't, come out of a silencing like that and do this. And so, yeah, I have a channel, but not everyone does. So I don't like that argument. Let's see. What are your thoughts on how the pop report for PSA 10 Moonbreons are 5.2K? Overvalued or crash coming soon? Neither. I don't think neither. If you look at some of the pop reports for all like the vintage, like look at the pop report for base set Charizard Unlimited. Come back and talk to me then about, Moonbreon. Like there's just so much demand for it that I don't think it's going to crash, nor do I think it's overvalued. I don't think it's going to continue to skyrocket right now. Maybe we'll see some retracing. Maybe it'll drive it up more. It really depends on if Evolution or Evolving Skies is going to get that reprint or not. But yeah, that's just where the market is. The market's not wrong. What I say or what someone else say, we could be wrong. The market's never wrong. I had a comment in one of my other videos that said, well, Alex, you've been wrong. Why don't you talk about, your shortcomings? Yeah, I've been wrong. Of course I've been wrong. When I went on Pokemart's stream, it was my first stream back into YouTube after I started my job. It was like 3 or 4 months. But yeah, I got Pokemon Go wrong, right? I invested in Pokemon Go pretty heavily. I got it wrong, right? I mean, everyone gets stuff wrong. I thought it was going to be a way hotter set. I thought because of the significance and relevance of all the Pokemon Go community that came in the hobby back in 15. I thought I was going to propel that set, as well as like just the regular collectors, investors. But yeah, it wasn't as popular. It didn't have as hard of hits. It had too much supply, and yeah, I was wrong. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head other stuff I was wrong on, but that was one of them. I don't mind being wrong. Let's see. Dan, OBS YouTube comment highlight for the win. StreamYard does it too. All right, I'll keep that in mind, Dan. Thanks. Ray, I am doing a response to bald video attacks. I'll be there to watch it, Ray. Just send me the notification, man. Let's see. Justin, bro, what in the F asked him to show you D his hat? That was low. All right, Professor Rowan. All right. I'm not choosing sides, but Jake said it's how you set a tone on his live chats. He didn't like it, and some people react to it reason why he kicked you. I didn't see the chat, but I just hope it works out for both of you in the end. Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely 100% gonna rub people the wrong way. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna play Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not gonna be passive aggressive. I am gonna come at you to your face, say exactly what I'm thinking, probably not in the nicest way, but I just want to get straight to the point. I don't want to waste time, kind of going back and forth and getting around subjects in a roundabout way. I'm just gonna come out and say it. And then you can set me straight, defend yourself, we can hash it out. So yeah, that's definitely gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way, and I understand that, and I accept that. All right. Tons of bald comments. I like it. I like Kelvin Corp. I like how everyone is making millions and still live in apartments or recording video without any fancy camera or mics used. It's all fake. Just make a channel, make Patreon, and cash in stupidity. I live in a house. It's not, I guess it's probably not like an amazingly fancy house. Here in the Midwest is pretty nice. But yeah, I'm definitely not like making millions. I'm not like a millionaire like Jake is or anything, but yeah, I don't know. I think some people do it for the money. Others, others do it because, they love Pokemon. They love to collect. Others do it just for the entertainment aspect. I'm kind of a hybrid. I love the entertainment aspect. And in the beginning, I wanted to, try to get more in tune with the community and get on lives and things. I've kind of pulled away from that. I'm not really as much worried about, being friends with everyone and being on everyone's live because, we always have disagreements. But yeah, there's definitely something about the YouTube and the entertainment aspect and the I guess you could call it the drama or just it's fun. Like right now, like interacting with you guys in the chat and the comment sections, even when people come out against me and hate on me, it's fun. Yeah, it's a good time. That's how I can address that. But yeah, as far as cashing in and all that, I can't really speak on that. My big YouTube paychecks are not cashing me in. I can tell you that right now. They might be able to afford me a new mic though. That's the goal at this point. All right, Ray. I can't wait for the response to the response to the response to the response part 5. Yeah, that's why I made this video because I'm just not gonna do it. I know Jake doesn't want to do it. Jake doesn't like confrontation. I like confrontation. Let's be honest. I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy the live debates. Again, I think a lot of people do. If you look at the one, they have some of the highest views. But yeah, Jake doesn't like it. And I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not, guys. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not trying to make Jake feel bad or attack him. It's just after so many debates, trying to get him to talk about certain things with me, not being able to, and then finally getting banned. I lashed out, made that video. I still stand behind that video because I think a lot of those takes he had were wrong. And if people are paying for an expert opinion, they should know, what his opinions have been over the years. But no, I'm not trying to attack him. So I'm just trying to end it, let's just move on. And also, like I said, these are not my most popular videos on my channel, right? So I even get comments on the videos of people saying like, hey, enough of this. Let's move on to your older content. Remember why you made the channel. Like, we're over this. And that's cool. Yeah, let's move on. All right. Did you take a loss on Pokemon Go or still holding it? So what I do with Pokemon Go, I did take a loss on some of it. So I bought a lot of it, like, tens and 20 cases worth, because I figured it was going to have a quick run up like we saw a lot of the times. I thought it was going to run up a quick 40, 50, 60, 70% like we saw. So I thought those ETBs were going to go from the 40s to like the 80s or 90s. And I was going to be able to cash in on a good flip, and I was going to keep a portion of them for my long-term investment. That didn't happen, so I ended up putting my long-term investment cases away, and then I sold off the other ones. Some I sold on Facebook Marketplace. Those ones I did not take a loss on because I didn't have to pay shipping and fees. So I was able to get out for a little bit of profit actually. And then the ones I sold on TCG Player or eBay, those I did take some loss on. Altogether, after selling all my extra cases, I took like a $300 and something loss. I talked about it on Pokemon's channel. It's not a huge deal for me. I made a play. I tried to make a speculative play and it didn't work. And so I dumped it because I didn't want to hold that much product for that long. I wanted to free up the capital. So yes, I did take a small loss on the Pokemon Go. Let's see. Roy the crazy. I don't trust anybody on YouTube but this guy. Oh my God, he is the right one. Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate it, but you know, sure there are people out there you might be able to, you know, get some advice from too. I'm not going to put down everyone. Do you work in sales in real life? Yes, I am in a sales position where part of my income is based on commission and performance bonuses, commission, and base pay. How far do you think Moonbryon will fall if there's a reprint? It'll fall. I don't know how far. I'm not going to make predictions on that. There's no telling. You don't know how big the reprint's going to be. Even if it's a giant reprint, Moonbryon's still just such a rare card. Now, what if they reprint it and they mess with the ratios, right? And the new prints have more of the Moonbryons and other alt-arts. So yeah, there's just no telling. Pokemon can do whatever they want. So I can't even make a prediction on that. I'm definitely not going to make a prediction because then someone's going to clip this video and use it against me in years to come. So no, not doing that. Okay, Jason, you can even invest in dumb promos if you believe it is hard enough and buy a lot. Anything is possible. Just hard to be focused on a few things instead of many. Yeah, it's true. All right. Blazer, when are you going to do another live with Pokemart? Yeah, I'll reach out to Eli. I haven't talked to him in a little bit right now. Whenever. I mean, I'll go on his channel. He can come on mine. I'll see what his schedule is like and see if he wants to do one. I think we always have a good time together. Let's see. I'm a used car salesman. It's how I fund my hobby. Yeah, those are some rough sales, man, but you can make some money doing it. I know that. All right, let's see. All right, Alex, the fact that you got banned from E4 proves everything you say about those guys in the echo chamber they live in. Yeah, that's the issue. And like I said before, like, yeah, I got banned, right? And then Jake says, well, yeah, you have a channel. You can go talk about whatever you want. Again, I have a channel. Others don't, right? What about the guy who is just a collector or, you know, investor and he's talking in the chat and if he gets banned, he has no channel. You can't expect him to go start a channel and grow followers and grow and get views and be able to get his opinion out there. That's unrealistic. And so that was the same thing happening in E4. It was like, anyone who wasn't preaching, you know, kind of the agreed upon rhetoric got banned, and then they had nowhere to go. And so I was lucky enough to grow this channel and be able to get this, you know, my opinions out there, but a lot of people aren't that lucky. And so I just don't agree with that argument of, oh, if you get banned, just go, you know, talk about it somewhere else. It's like, okay, great. But, you know, then again, it becomes the echo chamber. It's like, well, what if eventually it's kind of like, you know, America with all the corporate, you know, businesses and all the lobbying. It's like, what if eventually all these investment creators get big enough where they can just basically weed out everyone with differentiating opinions and just push, you know, the one opinion, and then people look at the chats and everyone's saying the same thing and they think in their mind, oh, this must be right. This is what everyone's saying, but it's not, right? It's just what everyone in all those channels are saying, and that's what gets pushed to you, and then the YouTube algorithm pushes all the similar channels, and it just becomes a big echo chamber. I don't think it's healthy. So that's why I made it. It wasn't for, you know, maybe it was a little bit for views, I guess, but it wasn't to like hate on Jake or make him like upset. It was to call out everything I've wanted him to respond on in the live streams that I felt like he just hasn't. That's all it was. And again, I still don't feel like I got good responses. I still feel like it was laughed off by him, and just I'd love to just have a one-on-one live stream with him sometime, anywhere, anyone's channel, and just be able to just take the time and just sort out all of our issues and get real, you know, full answers from him without other people interrupting. That's all I'm looking for, really. All right. To be fair, the Patreon is Jake and Dan's. I don't know that there is much advice given, but more so data. It's smaller, controlled community, which, depending on your perspective, can be a plus or minus. Yeah. I've had multiple people tell me this in the comment section. Yeah, I've never been involved in the Patreon, so you're right. I can't speak from experience on what actually goes on in there. You know, and it does make me feel bad because I consider Dan a friend, and he is half owner, I guess. So I hope I didn't hurt his business either. You know, I wish Jake, I guess, would be more transparent about his losses. Like, I'll talk about my losses, but I wish Jake would be more transparent about his, so that, people would understand he's not this all-knowing, investor that, you should pay money to for his advice. That's all I was getting at. But yeah, if it's more of a community, just that type of thing, then yeah, if that's what you want, pay for it. Sounds great. Perfect. Dan's a great guy. He deserves it too. So nothing to say against it. And I'm definitely not against paywalls. I mean, I've been very clear about that in other live streams. I'm not at all against paywalls, against people making money in the hobby. I'm not one of those guys. So, have at it. Anyone who sees value in anything and wants to pay their own money for it and is an adult and not a child, they have all the right to do that. Patreon is nice to have voice calls with Dan. The guy is tall and I trust giants. I would trust Dan as well. He's a lot more involved in the hobby on the day-to-day than I am. Let's see. What else we got going on in here? I feel a lot of more YouTubers are on your side in regards to people like Pokenomics, but they're just too scared to publicly back you. Yeah, and I'm not going to release any names, but I had, let's just say, a lot of people reach out to me on Discord and Instagram, telling me how happy they were I made that video. Like, someone finally said it, and hey, I'm one of the people that has been banned, or I'm another person that's been silenced. Like, multiple people reached out to me on both platforms telling me that. So yeah, I mean, obviously other people were thinking that it needed to be said. And again, I think a lot of people that get on Jake's live streams are either one, a little more on the timid side. They just want, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're a collector. They just want to have fun, talk about the hobby they enjoy, and enjoy being part of the community. That's great, but I think, when he tries to debate some people, like, they're softer, they're not going to, stand their ground, be hard, come at his face. When people do that, I don't think Jake likes it. He tries to end the streams early, or he'll just try to change the subject to like other TCGs, or, Beanie Babies or 90 sports cards, or the subject will constantly change all around, when I just want to focus on the actual point. Well, let's resolve this point. Then we can move to the Beanie Babies or 90 sports cards. Then we can move to other TCGs. But I feel like Jake's really good at, taking the conversation in the direction that he wants it. And a lot of people allow it to happen, and I'm one of those people that don't. And so I think that's why we clash pretty hard. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about those live streams when I'm a part of them. Let's see. Again, I jumped to the bottom, so now I've got to go find where I was again. Give me a second. All right. Pokenomics is punching air right now. He's worse than CNN. I don't think he's too upset if he's watching this. And again, Jake, if you're in here, come in the chat, dude. Like, I don't ban you. I don't care if you have stuff to say. I'm not trying to attack you by any means, man. I'm cashing out at 100K on my collection in the next few years, enough to retire in my country if invested. Timo, man, I hope you get there. That's an awesome goal. Early retirement through Pokemon, that's a dream, right? So good luck. Everyone kept saying in his stream too, boxing match. Like, yeah, I don't think Jake's much of a fighter, man. It would be awesome, to eventually get to that level of popularity on YouTube and get on like a Jake Paul undercard match against someone, though. That'd be so fun. I'd love to reach that point, but I don't think us little channels like that are ever going to be at that point. So it's unfortunate. I know. I'm sorry. Let's see. Alex isn't afraid of PokeTubers. The man was a UFC fighter. Unfortunately, I was not. Multiple people I train with are currently or have been in the UFC or Bellator. I never made it. I was training for my 4th fight, and I ended up having back surgery, and I started training again, and it wasn't working. It wasn't, I was in my early 20s and already had back surgery, and it wasn't feeling good, and so I gave it up. I still train and stay in shape, but I don't compete at that level anymore, and unfortunately never made it to that level. So let's see. Trying to go. If you depend on YouTube to tell you what and when you should buy it, should you really be investing? Yeah, I mean, if you're taking someone's word and just going straight to what they said, no. I think if you take a broad, like, take a paintbrush and kind of get a little bit of what everyone's saying, and then kind of look up things yourself and use all of it together is kind of what you should do. But no, you shouldn't just someone say, hey, buy Crown Zenith, and then go out and buy Crown Zenith. No, you shouldn't do that. Alex, do you train? If you mean martial arts, yeah. I still train. I still roll jiu-jitsu. I mean, I still do some stand-up. Like, I'll spar with some guys if they're, trying to get ready for one of their fights, like in their camps or something. But no, I can't keep like that pace anymore. I'm not in that kind of shape anymore. I may look in shape, but I'm not in that kind of condition. Let's see. All right, Hydus. I see in your collection closet you film in Dragon Ball and One Piece. Let's do some Dragon Ball Super openings in One Piece. Hey, actually, Hydus, thanks for bringing that up. So I am actually gonna start diversifying my channel. I'm thinking like once a week, maybe like on Saturday or something. But I'm thinking once a week I'm gonna start doing box openings. So might be Super, might be Yu-Gi-Oh, because I know the Yu-Gi-Oh anniversary is coming up, and I'm gonna want to open some of that product. Yeah, Super. I open Super sometimes, so I'm gonna Super. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna open some product like once a week and have some fun with that. So if you're into that stuff, come by. We'll have a good time. Let's see. By the time, correct, but time is our most valuable asset. So not having to put hours into research can be worth the monetary investment. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's kind of why I make this channel. I mean, I know I put in endless hours when I got back into the hobby. I mean, I think me and a friend of mine, who I did all my investing with. I mean, we basically ate, slept, and breathed Pokemon outside of our jobs. It was kind of ridiculous. It got overwhelming how deep we were in. It's kind of amazing to look back at. All right, Pokebeesh. Sorry, joining late. Not sure if you talked about this already. What do you think of Scarlet Violet base? Bought 2 cases plus 1 booster box for about 1,500. Good hold. Good hold, like for long term. Yeah, all I can say is most likely. I've been in this hobby since XY base. I've never seen one box not go up over time. I've never seen one reprint kill a box forever. If you're talking about like ETBs, collection boxes, pre-release kits, all that stuff, that's all across the board. But as far as booster boxes, I think it's the safest play in Pokemon. Obviously, nothing's 100% safe. This is not investment advice. You can always lose. Pokemon can crash tomorrow. But if someone's saying what's the safest play, I'm going to always say modern booster boxes at or under retail. So, yeah. Let's see. Haters never quit. Quitters never hate. You got it. You got it. You can buy a master set for under 700 right now. I mean, seems reasonable. I know the pull rates aren't that bad, so it could drop. I don't know. Let's see. Just ignore Nostalgianomics and Jay can refer to TCG, fish, Pokemon price, etc. Just get the data and do your own research rather than wasting hours on this. Yeah, I actually agree with that, to be honest. Like, I bet people thought I was going to disagree. No, I agree with that. My channel is just going to be to point you in the right direction, to kind of give you the things to look for on those sites and to entertain you, right? This is entertaining as well. I'm hoping I'm being somewhat entertaining, but yeah, I mean, certainly don't just take my advice and run forward, with it. Like, yeah, it's worked for me. It's been working for me, and the way that I structure it might not work for others. So yeah, I always support, making your own decisions based on your own research. Absolutely. Do you have your own distributor? If not, how do you get as much of whichever product you're looking to get a lot of when it releases? No, I don't have a distributor. Just Sometimes literally just straight off eBay or TCG Player when I see sales. Other times, reach out to people I know in the community that either have distribution or can get cheap product, and I'll pay them a little bit for it and then get it from them. Some of the stores that are the local card shops close to me, I have somewhat relationships with, not like strong relationships, but they'll give me deals when I buy multiple cases and things like that. But no, I certainly don't get the deals that like Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles gets. I don't get into distributor pricing by any means. I definitely play more retail, but that goes into what I push on my channel is that anyone can do this. I don't have really insider deals. Like I have some people I know, I get product maybe a little cheaper than others pay, but nothing near distributor level, right? And a lot of times, sometimes I actually pay the full retail, I want to get in certain things. So that's why I say that anyone can do this. You don't have to, have insider deals. If you do, it's a whole lot easier, but it's a whole lot harder to get into that. So, it is what it is. Just the time I saw Dan and the green shiz in person, I got scared. Giants are real. Trust me. Yeah, I heard they're big guys, man. All right. I feel a lot more PokeTubers are on your side in regards to people like Pokenomics, but they're too scared to publicly back you. Did I already read that? Did I go back through all this stuff again? All right. Trying to, just skip past some of this stuff. Stay strong, Alex. I've been banned from places for expressing my opinions too. They say indecent exposure. Dude, Mr. Walrus has the top comments ever. Would you rather be a man with a dog's head with a dog's head, or a dog with a man's head? A man with a dog's head or a dog with a man's head? You know what? I think most dogs have a lot better lives than men. So I'm going to take the dog with the man's head. That's what I'm going with. Seems like a nice, relaxing life to have. Have you ever talked to Pokemon Knowledge about being on a live? Would be great to see. Yeah, I reached out to him, but he never got back to me. I mean, he's salty from the videos I made about him in the past, and for good reason. I don't like, I'm not like, down on him for not wanting me on, not wanting to come on my channel. But it is what it is. I'm always down to debate or squash beef or, like, I think my personality is just a lot different than a lot of people in this community. I'm just pretty open, ready to talk about whatever, just a normal dude. My opinions do come across very at your face, but I'd rather have it that way than like all this, like, whispering behind people's backs or, passive aggressive style or, making videos, not naming names or, making videos like that are proving other people's opinions wrong, but not coming out and saying it's like to prove their opinion wrong or it's about them. I just don't like all that. I'd rather just be straight up, one-on-one about it and hash it out and go from there. Again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. But yeah, always open to do a live with literally anyone. Let's see. I gotta run the post office. Hey, later, Dan. Thanks for stopping by, man. What's up, my seal collecting brother? What's up, Andy? Dude, Jake is the most arrogant person in the hobby. Guy's smart, but toxic AF. Yeah, again, I'm not here to bash Jake. I think he's a little arrogant, though. I think he definitely, thinks he's always right. But as the video showed, a lot of times he hasn't been, but he's got, semantics to try to back up when and where stuff was said and, whatever. It's whatever. I'm just not going to get into it. If he doesn't want to talk about it, I'm not going to make him, I'm not going to bait him into more content. I'm really not trying to get views off of Jake. I promise you. Go look at my last video. Okay. It's nowhere near my highest viewed video. Okay. It's not about views. I promise you. Let's see. He has liberal mentality. Yeah, well, it's kind of like that. Let's see. It's lame to ban people you don't agree with. Agree 100%. I don't think you should ever ban anyone unless it's extreme circumstances. Alex, are you a white belt? Heck no. Come on, man. White belt? I've trained with some of the greatest fighters in the world. No joke. Justin, that's awesome, man. I'd love to roll with you sometime then, man. It'd be cool. See, what's up, man? Who you got winning for the main and co event tomorrow? Oh man, those are gonna be good fights. I think you gotta go with Burns, just because I mean that dude's a killer. If somehow I think I looked at the betting odds for that fight, and Masvidal was like, I think it was like a 5,000 or 10,000 to 1 bet to have Masvidal submit him in the first round. I thought about just putting $100 on it just because when you get those kind of odds, you kind of have to. But yeah, Burns is probably going to beat him. And then the main event, that's up in the air. That could go either way. So I'm super excited to watch that. I'm going to be at a friend of mine's house watching those fights. So we'll see how that plays out. Making WotC fascist Pokemon gatekeeper space facts. Oh man, not the fascist. I can't take any more fascist words. I can't take it anymore. It's so overused in this country right now. Everyone's a fascist. Let's see. Is opening product risky? No, Mr. Walrus, not at all, man. You're guaranteed returns opening product. Box opening is such a good idea. Yeah, Aaron, I thought so, man. Like I'm just gonna look for ways to try to differentiate the channel a little bit and not make it so one-dimensional. You know, I want to bring back some lives, you know, and have some people on to debate with. And hey, anyone who wants to come on my live and debate, we always talk before the stream. I don't just like pull you in, you know, unexpectedly. So I always ask everyone I've ever had a live with, hey, are there any things you don't want to touch on? You know, do you want to get put like I make it comfortable, okay? So if you want to come on my live, don't think I'm going to attack you. I always ask people beforehand what's off limits, and you know, I make it I make it fun, okay? So don't think I'm just gonna treat it that way. It was my understanding that Jake was always okay with it, and he wanted the back and forth, and he wanted to push his opinion as hard as I wanted to push mine. I didn't know it was affecting him in like a personal manner that much. I really didn't. You know, well, it is what it is. I mean, guys, like I said, you can come at me with anything. You're not going to affect me personally. Like this is YouTube. This is like online. Like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a different person in real life, but I get that anything said through YouTube and chat is literally just like you're just typing. Sometimes it's just to get a rise out of people. It's trolling. Maybe sometimes it's real, but I don't take anything too serious on this. I swear to you. Let's see. I wish the nomics got along. I haven't been this torn since the movie Twilight made me choose between the wolf and vampire. Dude, Mr. Walrus, where do you come up with all of these just hit lines? I want to sell my items, but I don't want to worry about fee and shipping. Hey, Dan just left, but Catch 'em All Collectibles has a service. So does Z&G. That's what they do. You know, you got to pay them a fee, but you know, a lot of times it can be worth it. You know, there's no risk of you having to, you know, pack and ship everything, possibly getting damaged, possibly getting lost, possibly having people scam you. You know, doing all the work. Like it's a lot of work to buy and sell. So, you know, those guys have services for a reason. Like, you know, yeah, they're gonna take a piece of the pie. They're doing the work, but if you don't want to do the work and you don't want to put in the effort and you have enough profit built in, it's always an option. You know, don't hate on them for it. They're providing a service. Crypto Cole, Jake has such a big ego for someone who is mostly wrong. The guy got lucky in the boom after his inheritance. Yeah, let me address that. Guys, that wasn't personal information. He said that in my live stream. Like everyone saw that live stream that wanted to watch it. Like he openly spoke about his inheritance. I would never like reveal anything anyone like told me in confidentiality and private through like a Discord or Instagram or anything like that. It was live streamed. So I don't feel like I did anything wrong by mentioning that, but no, Jake's been right on stuff too. Obviously, I mean, he is where he is. But you know, just like me, he isn't right on everything, and that needs to be talked about more. Especially if you're going to charge for a Patreon where, you know, you give I guess he doesn't give investing advice, but he gives his research that he uses to make his investments off of. And that research can lead you down a wrong road where you might get trapped into this mindset of, oh, because X, Y, and Z, that means this is going to perform well in the future. The market doesn't always perform that way, right? You can look at pop reports, you can look at, print runs, you can look at like all these different factors. It doesn't mean anything. The market's going to do what the market does, and no one can predict that. All right. Pokemart USA is here. Eli, what's up, man? I took your advice and took a loan out to buy Pokemon. Now I'm balls deep in Pogo ETBs. I'm only down 20% of my investment, which is less than I usually am. So I see that as a huge win. Thanks, Alex. Always here to help out the community, man. I'm always just trying to help everyone lose money, apparently. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Let's see. Stop trying to save on fees, Roy. Yeah, someone's got to keep eBay and TCG Player afloat. Someone's got to keep, well, I guess it's all eBay now, right? Someone's got to keep the behemoths alive. Besides Evolving Skies, what's your favorite set in Sword and Shield? I love me some Chilling Rain. Yeah, Crown Zenith's awesome too. I like Crown Zenith, and then I do like Celebrations just for like the significance of, just I like to reprint all the artworks. I love the UPCs with the gold cards, so I do like that. But yeah, all those sets they're awesome. I love how all that question always has to be started with, so besides Evolving Skies, like it's always just expected. Like that has to be everyone's favorite set. It's funny. Picked a case of VMAX Climax for 1,000 at its lowest point, and now it's climbing to 2,500. Guess Modern ain't investable. Nope, sure ain't. Sell all your Modern, apparently. The hobby needs more shirtless streams. I hear you, Mr. Walrus. Let's get that going. I believe you're talking about like the female streamers, I'm guessing. What? Let's see. Be the change you want to see. I agree. Let's see. What do you think will happen if everyone had a 3 to 5 year plan on selling sealed? The same thing I think is going to happen if everyone has a plan in the last, 5 years of buying sealed. I just don't think it ever works out that way. I just don't think everyone can stay true to their mindset of buying sealed, holding it all that time, going through the time to sell it. My friend right now, I talked about, I may have him on a live stream eventually. He doesn't do any social media or anything, but he literally has boxes in his basement from going way back, like when we started. And I'm like, we're talking about how lucky he got by holding it all, because I sold like at the top, near the tops, but now things have rebounded and came back. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just too lazy. Like I don't feel like listing it all. Like I'm happy it all came back and now I made more, but like I don't need the money. I don't feel like listing it, so I just held it. So I think a lot of people will fall into that mindset. They get lazy and just don't even feel like selling it at that point. Other people will open the product. Some will sell it in the 3 to 5 year time frame. I think it'll kind of be all over the place. So I think it'll stabilize. There'll be ups and downs like always, but I just can't see a crash coming. In my mind, could be wrong. I don't see it. Did you see one of the Lightning players is getting fined $5,000 for cup checking Rangers goalie? No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that game. That's crazy though. If it goes past one round, Burns easily wins. Masvidal has to get lucky. Yeah, I agree. It's got to be lucky, but it's almost worth that bet on those 5,000 and 10,000 odds on Masvidal, because it's just so ridiculous. Anything can happen in a fight. I mean, that's been proven time and time again. So I don't know where those odds makers get those bets, but it's like, do they really believe 10,000 to 1 someone can't get a lucky shot in or get submitted? I mean, I don't know. It seems off to me. Let's see. Andy Lee, I invest in stocks, real estate, crypto, Pokemon, and Pokemon in the last 2 years has been the highest percent in terms of gains. In fact, it's the only thing up in the last 2 years. I mean, there's other stuff up, but yeah, it's destroyed everything else in the past 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know where Jake comes at with those statistics. Like the only thing I can possibly think of is he may be talking about like from 99 to like the mid 2000s. Like that may be the only time Pokemon did not perform the stock market, but everything from like 13, 14, like when XY was getting started and on, everything's outperformed the stock market in the last 10 years. Every booster box. sorry, not every booster box, but every booster box as a whole. If you took every booster box, put it in a big fund, and did a percent gain comparison, it's not even close. Like Berkshire Hathaway, who, you know, Warren Buffett's company, who always outperforms the market, he's at like 20% a year in 10 years, right? The S&P, Dow is less than 20% in 10 years. If you go to funds who actually pay dividends, you may have some compounding interest from the dividends, compounding interest, but it's not even close to the hundreds and even thousands of percent gains you've seen in steel product over the same time period. So I just don't buy that argument. I don't know where he gets it from. I wish he would make a video showing it because I don't understand. I mean, I keep really close track of like the markets. I mean, I still have a brokerage account. I you know, swing trade stocks. I manage me and my wife's Roth IRA. So I keep a very close eye on the stock market. I really don't know where he's coming from with that. I don't know. Let's see. Didn't know there was some history there with Pokemon knowledge, but after his blow up with Pokeball and reconciliation, you'd hope he'd be able to get past those things or at least air them out. Well, with Pokeball, it's different because Pokeball's got a lot of followers, and Pokéknowledge, he's very smart at how he maneuvers this YouTube. You know, he made friends with people like Cool Trainer Ryan and Rattle, who had a lot of hype behind him. Cool Trainer Ryan brings in people like PokeRev to his channel, and when he probably got off stream because he didn't know who he was at the time, he saw Pokeball had a large following and said, I better make up with this guy. So when he sees someone like me, you know, a smaller channel, he doesn't really care as much. And that's just, and I get it. That's how he wants to be. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. It's just, that's probably part of the reason he made up with Pokeballs. Let's see. Talk about One Piece trading card game. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a future video. What about sealed product are you picking up lately? I haven't picked up a lot lately, not much at all. After Crown Zenith, because, you know, everything's already went up recently. I mean, do I still think it's going to be up more in the future? Yeah, but I already have positions. Like why would I add to my positions at a higher cost and like raise my dollar cost average up? It wouldn't make sense when I can, you know, put that money other places or save it up for new sets like this to be released and be able to go in those positions heavier. So I haven't bought a lot lately. That's why I haven't really been making videos about, you know, what to buy or what I've been buying. I don't have anything for you. I'd say continue to save your money, get that nest egg ready and be ready to deploy it when the right opportunity presents itself. Let's see. I didn't know Jake was that sensitive. He says he wants to debate, but yeah, I didn't either. Like I knew Jake was like a therapist and, you know, he was a softer guy. I didn't know he was that sensitive. To me, every time it felt like he wanted to debate me. He wanted to attack things head on. And so I was just doing that with him. And then people, you know, he said, and other people say, well, Alex always seemed so, you know, so much different when he was on your stream or things. It's like, I'm not any different. Like by the end of the stream, I could tell Jake was worn out or he wanted to resolve things. So I resolved it. Like I'm not a bad guy. It's just when we're in the debate, I want to debate. And then when we're in the friendly, let's talk and have fun, we'll be in the friendly, let's talk and have fun. But don't bring me on to debate and then get mad because I'm quote unquote being aggressive or debating, right? That's what I was there for. That's why I don't understand. Romance Dawn to the Moon. Yeah, it's a One Piece set for those of you who don't know. I made a video about it when it was $150 a box. It's in the 300s now, just a few months later. I mean, I've heard what other people in the community were saying about it. I talked to my local card shop about it. They told me this was going to happen. They were right. And so I try to relay that message to everyone else. I'm happy for those of you who got in with me. I'll use dictators instead from now on. Sorry, Alex, never heard that term at all here in New Zealand, as we have never lived under one. LOL. Yeah, because I was talking about the fascists. Yeah, that's Grant. If you were here in the U.S., it is so overused. Everyone's a fascist. Every time you speak out against any type of social movement nowadays, you're a fascist in the U.S. apparently. So you'd get it if you lived here. But yeah, appreciate it. We'll use dictators from now on. Anyone who bans. Let's see, Mr. Walrus. I'll debate trading cards off limits. We debate gardening mulch. Mr. Walrus, you're not. You thought you were making a good one there, but I owned a landscaping company for about 12 years. So I will debate gardening mulch with you, okay? And I will win that debate, I think. but hey, we can do that. Pokemon USA, I'll take some of your ETBs. I love Pokemon Go, probably only one. No, I love Pokemon Go too. That's why I lost money. I was wrong. I thought other people were going to share that feeling, and I was wrong. I got it wrong. If Jake can't take it, just move on. In a few years, we will see who come out on top. Keep on the good works. Yeah, I am moving on. Yeah, I mean, he made it very clear he does not want to unban me. I mean, I have the Instagram. He said I didn't message him. I have the Instagram message to prove. I even, Dan asked me about it. Catch him off collectibles. I screenshotted and sent him the message, and he's just like, well, maybe you didn't say the right things. Word for word. Here, I'll read it to you guys. I sent Jake this the morning after that he banned me. And what I said was, so just wondering, was there a reason why you blocked me from the chat in your live stream twice? That's what I said. And he's seen it that day, never replied to it. And so I made the video. I just, he's made the decision. He doesn't want anything to do with me. That's fine. After this live stream, I promise all of you who don't want to hear about it anymore, I won't be talking about it anymore. That's why I had this live stream, to just hash it out and get it over with. So here it is. But yeah, I'll move on, Austin. I promise you. I didn't know you rolled, Alex. Love to hear it. Purple Belt and BJJ over here. Can someone catch me up with what's going on with PK and Pokenomics? Was there something more than the last live you did? Yeah, I mean, with PK, no, nothing new. Just the old stuff back in the day. I haven't talked with him since. Pokenomics, yeah. He had a live with reserved investments. I was making my counter arguments. Again, same thing I told Dan. It was nothing vulgar. It was not attacking. It wasn't spam. I was just doing what I always do, challenging the arguments. And I got banned for it. So I logged back off, logged my personal account. He banned that account. And so I made a response video about, the errors in Jake's ways. And it turned into a big thing. So that's why I'm having this live, to just squash all the beef and get over it. So that's basically it. And then Trav, also, if you didn't, it's awesome you're purple belt, man. That's cool. But yeah, and then PK thing, it was months ago. We just got into it back and forth. I was on his channel, he was on my channel. We had some differences in opinions. Again, I don't think he is much for the whole debate style arguing back and forth either. The way I am, like, I enjoy it, and so I rubbed him wrong, and we don't talk anymore either. So that's all that was. It's really nothing more than that. There's nothing going on behind the scenes. You guys have all seen everything that's happened. Jake is very sensitive. I like his passion and analysis, but I'm not sure how we go along in get along in real life. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like that. It is what it is. Did you pay to be in his Discord? No, I've never been in his Discord. I just have to take people's word for what goes on in there. I don't know. I thought it was more advice driven, but apparently I'm being heard as more of just a community of talking. So I'm really confused of what is being paid for, but whatever people see value in and choose to open their wallets up to it, I have nothing against. We're all adults here. We can all make our own decisions. No big deal. Again, I'm not against paywalls. I'm not against Jake making money. If he's truly a multimillionaire like he portrays, I don't know why he needs to make a couple $1,000s off of Pokemon from you guys, the community. So I sort of question that aspect of it. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if I ever have a $2 million plus net worth, I will never charge for a single thing. I promise you that. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but that's all on him. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not a millionaire. I don't have a Patreon. So there you go. I put 100,000 of my inheritance into sealed product in early 2020, and I haven't regretted it a single day. I guess not. Let's see. Scarlet Violet base is lackluster. Yeah, a little bit for me at least. If someone is sensitive and can't take a debate, then he needs to change up his channel on how he does things. That's from me watching Jake for years too. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, if you don't want to debate, that's fine. Like, everyone, not everyone is cut out for every single thing. So, then just don't have people on to debate, and don't pull comments on the screen and like trash the comment and talk about why that comment's wrong and things like that. And then when someone comes out, you know, in response to that, you know, shut them down and ban them and laugh about it. I mean, I just think it's unhealthy, but whatever. You know, it's his channel. Again, like he said, it's his channel. He doesn't think it's a big deal to just ban 20, 25 people and silence that many people's opinions. That's up to him. I can't do anything about that. I think it's wrong because, you know, again, his point of me having a channel, great. Those other 25 people don't. Their voice is now silenced forever. Let's see. Effectively, Jake's biggest reason for banning you was because he thought you were hijacking his chat. Do you regret using all caps and being noisy in the chat? Absolutely not. I don't regret anything I did. Do you think you'll apologize and maybe you can work it out in the future? I'll apologize right now. Like, for what? What do we apologize for? You know, Adamoji or Jake, you know, what exactly am I supposed to apologize for? I mean, my video I made, while it was maybe in a bad light, or I did it in the wrong way, I just simply showed all the things I've always mentioned to you in your lives when I've been on them, you know, all the mistakes that you've called over the years that you won't take responsibility for. You say I'm putting words in your mouth, you say I'm making it up, or I'm painting it in the wrong light. I just put it out there and said, here's what I'm talking about. You know, if someone's paying for this type of advice, just know that he got stuff wrong the same way everyone else did. He's not some all-knowing, all-perfect person. And so I don't know what to apologize for being too aggressive, abrasive, for, you know, coming at it not in a soft enough way. I don't know. Like, I truly don't know. You know, if you didn't want to debate, just tell me. I can be a nice guy. We can chill. We can hang out. We can talk Pokemon. We can talk sports. We can talk fighting. We can talk whatever. You know, but if it's like, if you're there to debate, I'm going to debate, right? Like, I don't get it. I cannot get it for the life of me. Has PK banned anyone from his chat? Probably. He banned me. I've been banned from PK's chat. So I'm guessing others. Again, I can't prove it, but I'm guessing. You know, that's what, like I said, that's what these people do. They ban the voices that speak out against them, especially when the voices are like mine that actually have facts and data to back it up. People like me get banned. Is what it is. Mr. Locknut, just say he was wrong about modern. Man, you're welcome for featuring you in that video, your comment. I just loved it because you asked him and he went silent for like 10 minutes trying to come up with something. Because I mean, I don't know why he won't just admit that. Like, guys, if vintage takes off this year or next year, I will publicly come out and tell you how wrong I was. I promise you. If these WotC PSA cards start ramping up to the moon, I will tell you how wrong I was and I'll take full responsibility. And I just expect Jake to do the same thing. You know, he's been wrong multiple times about modern. He trashed it, and now he wants to say, "Oh, I've been buying it," and whatever. I don't want to talk about it. It's just I'm ready to debate it. I wish he would too, but if he doesn't want to, I can't make him. That's impressive. PK usually ignores his chat, LOL, but I don't think it was PK. Yeah, it could have been his moderators. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not keeping track of all that. Like I said, I'm not that worried about it. I don't know why I get painted so much like I'm playing the victim. I promise you, I don't feel victimized. I don't feel bullied. You guys, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not gonna go into a deep depression over this. I'm just calling out what's there. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so I'm not a victim. I'm not being bullied. I'm just calling out these larger channels who have a lot of following on the mistakes of their ways. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to get views. I'm not trying to cause drama. I'm not trying to, you know, do anything else. That's all it is. Let's see. What's on your shelf behind you? Cool Pegasus. Oh yeah, it's just like a porcelain sculpture my wife got from her dad a long time ago. It's pretty cool. It's like this artist over in Europe. When they were in Europe, visiting Europe, her dad bought it for her. So it's pretty cool. Off topic, how are you feeling about Lorcana? I get asked that all the time. I don't know anything about Lorcana. I just don't know enough yet. Sorry, Alex. I can't talk on that yet. Agreed, Austin. He refreshes content. I think call-ins are most informative. Yeah, I think the call-in show works out well. Let's see. Oh, come on, not again. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I got it. This is wild. Jake admitted he's sensitive. I agree. 2 separate video responses due to being banned, and Jake responses is also sensitive. He didn't say you didn't message him. Okay. That's why I said he said that I guess I didn't phrase the message in the right way. I don't know. Like I said, it's not a big deal. If he doesn't want to talk to me and doesn't want to be involved with me anymore, that's fine. Like, you know, he admitted he's sensitive. Great. Then I won't attack him anymore. I don't want to be the reason people feel bad. I knew Jake was more on the more sensitive side, but I thought he was like good to go head to head in a Pokemon battle debate. I didn't know that. Now I will never do this type of content about him again. I'm not trying to hurt people in their lives. That is not what I'm about. You know, so I get it. Yeah, you're right. Pokemon breeder Max, you're right. I agree. Roy, I need a garden. All right. What's your top 3 favorite alt arts? Oh man, I don't know. There's so many now. I can't even, at the top of my head, I can't even come up with that. Sorry, man. Jake said we're making a big deal out of banning you. Also, won't unban you. Yeah, exactly. If it's such a big deal, if it's not a big deal, why have me banned at all? And also, I disagree with that. I don't disagree with me being banned as a big deal because, like he said, my voice, his voice is not that important. I do think it becomes pretty important when he admitted about 25 people have been banned. And then how many people have been banned by Pokéknowledge? How many people have been banned by who else, right? And all those people don't have channels like I do. So I think it is kind of a big deal. I mean, we're getting into double-digit numbers of people getting banned. So you're having just massive amounts of voices silenced. Like, think about these normal live streams. Like, his live streams get between like 150 and 200 viewers on average. So you're talking like, what, 20% of the viewers almost? Maybe like 15%. So 15% of his viewers are now silenced in his chat. Think when that number creeps up to 20, 25%. That's when you get an echo chamber. That's when you get one side of the story and you see a chat and everyone's agreeing and people think, oh yeah, everyone must agree on this. I'm stupid for thinking differently. No, it's everyone who thought differently has been banned. That's the issue. It's not me. I'm not important. But when you start getting numbers, that's when it becomes a little suspicious and a little important in my mind. That's what I think about it. Everything is coming off of super disingenuous from you. Coming off super disingenuous from you. Okay. Selective listening and inability to understand on Nostalgianomics aside. Address why you won't comment on the fact that Jake is a modern sealed investor. I'll comment on it. I've never said he wasn't. I'm saying he's given mixed signals about it the whole way. He's constantly told people, don't buy modern, don't buy, seal's going to crash. And then he says, well, yeah, it's great at $72 a box, but I wouldn't buy over retail. I wouldn't buy after it already started to creep up. But then he says, oh, I was buying those from $100 to $300 a box, right? And then he constantly talks like all this like doom and gloom on modern, but then at the same time, he's doing it all. The same thing in that one clip I showed. He says that, I wouldn't even tell people to invest in vintage. Meanwhile, he's got $1 million in Pokemon vintage. So it's like, I think that's disingenuous. Why constantly talk about something you're doing? So what is it, like, do as I say, not as I do? I don't agree with that. I talk about things that I do so that people can be like, oh, well, to show what's working. I'm not going to like get on here and be like, hey, buy Modern Sealed. And then you come to my house and like, wow, he doesn't own a single thing of Modern Sealed, right? Like, that's disingenuous. Why would you tell people to do something you actively don't do? It doesn't make sense. And that's my issue with Jake. Yeah, of course he has modern. Of course he does. Everyone does. Even Dan, like, I'm friends with Dan. I'm not talking trash to Dan. But I've told Dan this before. Dan always likes to say that he's not an investor, but Dan puts away multiple cases of every single set. So I guess because he has the mindset of eventually he's going to sell it, he considers himself not an investor, but that's an investor. Every one of these guys invested in Modern Seal. Of course they do. They'd be stupid not to. SM Pratt does. But then they talk so bad and negatively about it and bearish about it. That's my issue with it. It's not that he doesn't do it. It's that he tells people not to do it. That's wrong. But Spec God, again, not everyone's going to, not everyone's going to be on my side. They're not going to see things the way I see it, and they're not going to, you know, like the way I come across, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, I'm glad you're speaking your mind though. Even with banning and the sensitivity, Jake is better than 97% of Pokemon market talk, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling anyone not to listen to Jake. To be frank, Jake deconstructed a lot of your arguments when you spoke to him last. Deconstructed. You'd have to be more specific, man. I don't know what exactly you're talking about. He did say Alex never reached out to him. Jake said that multiple times. Alex has proof that he reached out. Yeah, I feel like he said I didn't reach out, but then later he said like I didn't reach out in the right way, which maybe he wants like an apology from me. I don't know. It is what it is. I tried to reach out and settle it, but he didn't want to talk at all, so I made the video. It is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, Jake lost in body language, but won the debate. Okay. I mean, I don't agree with that, but yeah, if you think so. You have solid arguments too, but don't always come out effectively in debates. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really hard with 4 people there. I think it would be a lot better one-on-one. Apologize for a different perspective. Get the F out. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, apologize for what? Like, I didn't. He says I attacked him personally, but I attacked him having a Patreon where, you know, people pay him for his knowledge. I don't think I attacked him personally. I attacked his business and his opinions on Pokemon. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to hurt people. I'm just trying to call out, you know, opinions and stances I think are wrong, and I think are going to do viewers damage. That's it. All right. Apologize for an opinion. What the fuck? Are you talking about he doesn't owe an apology? He doesn't owe an apology? Yeah, I mean, like exactly. Like I don't think he owes an apology. Like to me, I mean, I don't think anyone owes anyone an apology for debating their stance on Pokemon. That's ridiculous. Do you have any advice for selling on eBay? When you're starting out, you're probably going to have to be the lowest listed to get sold. As you start to build your positive reviews and build your feedback amount and stuff, you can start listing for more of the middle of the road or not quite the lowest, and you can probably still get bought. But yeah, that's kind of how eBay works. Obviously real clear pictures, white background with sealed product I found, and then black background or a dark background with cards so people can see the edges and be real clear with the pictures. And then be absolutely to the point in the description. Don't leave anything up to interpretation. Let everyone know exactly what they're getting and the exact condition it's in, so you have very little chance of anything going wrong. I've been on eBay for over 10 years now. I think it's about 10 years, and I still have 100% positive feedback. So I think as long as you're upfront and honest with everything you're selling, you're going to be okay. Let's see. Lastly, did you disappear for 3 months when Pokemon was down? Seems like you only puff your chest when things are up. I spoke on that. I got a job. I sold my business and got a job. And for a while there, I was in the process of selling my business and working a full-time job at the same time. Had no time for YouTube. If it happened to be when Pokemon was down, then I got lucky. No, it was not anything nefarious as that. I was going through changes in my life. That's all it was. I can tell some people, of the people in here, didn't see how Nostalgianomics was acting in the chat. What do you mean by that, Leaf Green? I was doing what I always do. I was being devil's advocate. I was challenging the opinions of Jake and Reserved Investments. That's all I've ever done. I've never been vulgar. I've never spammed. I've made real debates, real arguments. That's all it's ever been. So what are you talking about? Debates are confrontational. If you're not, then don't debate. Exactly. When does debating from the chat ever work, especially if you were just in the live? Well, it's worked plenty of times. That's how I got pulled on like 2 or 3 of the live streams. 2 of the live streams, at least, is debating with Jake from the chat. And then, Ray asked him to pull me in retrospects on. The other one, Jake pulled me on to debate it live instead of the chat. So it has worked. It's got things hashed out on screen. I mean, I think it has worked. I would disagree with you on that one, Leaf Green Goblin. Spec, you sounding real tough, puffing your chest right now. LOL. I mean, hey, I asked for it. I told people to come at me, and so he's doing what I asked. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to get things out in the open. Alex should apologize, especially if he isn't sorry. What would be the point of that? People in this hobby are way too sensitive. It's kind of a joke. Yeah, I agree. I mean, people are getting way too sensitive. We're talking about Pokemon. If I hurt Jake's feelings or him as a person, I do apologize for that. Wasn't aiming at Jake. I'm not going to apologize for making a video showing his own content to him and giving my opinions on it. Like, what did I do? What did I do that warrants a deep apology? I don't get it. I didn't call him out. I mean, I didn't call him his character out. I mean, I guess I called his business out, his Patreon, and his opinions that he's made. But that's what I was trying to call it in the debate. I mean, I would have said the same things to his face. So it's not like I'm, trying to act tough behind the camera or trying to create drama. It's stuff I wanted to say to him in debates, but the debates always end, or there's too many people, or it gets convoluted, and that's all stuff that I was always going to say. So I don't know what to apologize for. I really don't. I'm not saying I think you should apologize. Jake said if you apologize for attacking him personally in your video, then maybe you two can talk again in the future. Yeah, I'm not trying to go after Jake to get views or to be a part of any type of community that he's involved in. Look, if Jake truly doesn't want me on his channel and doesn't want me in the chat, I won't be there. I'll honor his opinion. I'm not going to grovel at his feet to be welcomed back in the Pokenomics chat. Like, it's fine. It's all good. Nostalgianomics in Jake's chat was visibly different in approach to his behavior on live. Okay. I mean, I guess you can't tell tone through typed words, I guess is probably what it comes down to. Let's see. Yeah, obviously Leaf Green Goblin and Pokemon Breeder Max, they're Jake's fans, and that's great. I'm glad you're in here. I'm glad I'm getting both sides of it. I don't need a bunch of people just gassing me up all the time. I'm happy to hear both ends of it. At the end of the day, this is a kid's card game, exactly. Nostalgianomics doesn't need to apologize. Okay. I mean, I appreciate you seeing it that way. Oh, what happened now? All right. Let's see. He was borderline obnoxious. If 20% of the comments are him being inflammatory, you're going to get banned. Again, define inflammatory. Not using any curse words, not being belligerent, just questioning the opinions given on the live stream. If that's inflammatory, then yes, I'm guilty. Put me away. Let's see. He did last live with you. We can all go watch the last debate. Yeah, but again, it's like there's 4 people there. There's so much different voices, so many different opinions getting sloshed around. Jake's a master at constantly switching the topic to like other things. Like we'll be talking about Pokemon, then he'll switch it to other TCGs, or he'll switch it to. He's very good at that, and I can't keep it on subject when I have Retro and Ray trying to speak as well. Like I said, if I ever debated him again, it would have to be one-on-one. He slips out of too much. Like I can never keep the conversation on point. So yeah, you can watch the debate, but not much really gets said. He's like that every chat though. I think Jake should have addressed him in chat. The ban was, I don't know. Yeah, it's Jake's channel. He can do whatever he wants. Likes the garden, dig it. Get over it, y'all. If I can put my mom in a home for not buying 2 of every Pokemon game to keep 1 sealed, Alex can be banned. Is there an echo? Echo. He charges for his services because he wants to. Pocket watching for real. Billionaires still sell services. Yeah. Again, I'm not against paywalls, guys. Like, don't do this to me now. Don't like. I've always been 100% good with the free market, right? Like, unless you're pitching things to young kids, I know my demographic is 18 and up. And so, yeah, anyone watching me and Jake, you can decide for yourself what to put your money into. If you want to buy Jake's Patreon, buy it. I don't care. I'm just saying, you know the person that, of what he said, his history of his, of what he said about the Pokemon investing in the hobby and how the market was going to perform. Know that before you, decide to pay for his services. That's all I'm saying. Bro, you complain too much. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. I want to consider both sides. I'll acknowledge my bias. Big fan of Jake, but I'll also say, and I said this in Jake's chat easier. Say, Nostalgianomics argument that it's disingenuous to tell people don't buy too much of modern while making the modern plays you want them to avoid is fair. Yeah, that's all I've ever said. Like, I've never said Jake doesn't invest in modern. That's what I'm saying is wrong with him. Is why are you constantly? And I showed what 5, 6, 7 clips in that video of him coming out against modern. Why in the world are you buying modern and you're telling all your viewers not to? That's disingenuous in my book. People are scared to use the word investment. They sway away from it because it blows up in their face. They have to scapegoat of saying it's not an investment. Exactly. I hate that about this community. Look, there are collectors out there who just collect and don't care about the money. I think Basic Trainer, I think he's probably genuine when he says that. I don't know Basic. I don't know his background. Apparently people say he's like made a lot of money. Maybe, I mean, yeah, if you're rich and you don't care, you're just buying stuff you like, there's people like that out there. I think it's probably like the 1% or point something percent of us. But yeah, like everyone wants to hide behind like, oh, it's just my collection. Oh, well, I don't really consider this an investment. Like, dude, I'm just gonna come out and say I don't think Jake has that much money to where he can have $1 million plus sitting in collectibles and say, well, I don't consider that an investment. That's crazy to me. You'd have to be a deca millionaire, 100 millionaire to say that $1 million plus in something is just considered something you want to own and not an investment. That I'll fight that to the day I die. I'm sorry. Let's see. Jake does get distribution prices, I think, which can make a huge difference compared to someone who doesn't have that. Could make it worth investing if you have it and not worth it if you don't. I've never had distribution, Muffin Swagger. I've never had distribution, and I've done it for 8 years, and I've made consistent returns every single time. And over the course of things, that extra $10 or $20 is minuscule to the gains you can make. And minuscule. I mean, it's not like distributors get these boxes at $50, right? I mean, they used to get them in like the 80s, and then I could find them in the 90s. I mean, you're talking like not even $10 difference sometimes. Some of the sets they did like Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Ancient Origins, Roaring Skies. Some sets dipped below distributor pricing. So if you would have bought them at distributor level and kept them, and I waited and got in at those times, I could have actually beat the distributor pricing. So no, it has nothing to do with having a distributor or not. Yeah, it makes it easier. It's a little bit of a cheat code, but it's not necessary. All right. The echo chamber of PokeTubers don't want you to make money, guys. I mean, I hate to say that, but when you're constantly saying things in videos and then doing another thing behind the scenes, it brings that into question. It definitely does. Healthy opposition is essential if we really want the hobby to grow. Not sure how anyone could disagree with that. Me either. I agree. Devious, 100%. Thin skin. People get mad at things that are true. Exactly. Let's see. The echo chamber of YouTubers don't give an F about the health of the hobby. They just care about their own dollars. I agree with some people out there like that. What happened with Pokenomics? Man, literally, he banned me from a live stream just for speaking my opinion. I made a video about it, then he made a response. So that's what we're doing here. We're just kind of unpacking it and kind of getting past it and leaving it here. This is exactly like when I call someone out in real life and now I have to apologize because I offended them. 2023 at its finest, Leaf Green Goblin. That's where we're at, apparently. I don't think I could survive in school anymore if this is the way it is. Jake gives financial advice on Pokemon TCG on Patreon, then is totally bearish on his YouTube. Yeah, see, people are saying he doesn't give financial advice. I don't know, never been on it, but if he does, that's completely disingenuous. And if he doesn't, and people are paying just be a part of a community, well then, okay, I guess it's worth it. You're adults, make your own decisions. I don't care. I don't like red. You are not like red. Why would I say, sorry, man, I like red? I don't always see. You read my comment weird. I said you, Alex, don't owe an apology. Oh, sorry, Pokebarn. Yeah, I mean, I don't think either one of us owes anyone an apology, right? Like, it's too much sensitivity going on for me. I'm not a sensitive person, I guess, is my problem. Maybe I need to get in touch with my sensitive side. I don't know. but I don't think anyone has ever said anything on any YouTube comment section, chat, live stream that I think they ever owe me an apology on. Like, unless you start like talking bad about like my family or like, I can't even come up with reasons of what I would feel like being attacked on, but being attacked on my views on Pokemon or how I present them, you're never going to owe me an apology. Okay. Say whatever you want, guys. I promise you. This is a safe place. All right. Modern was going up in those 3 months, actually, when you were gone. Maybe it was. I forget. You know, I legitimately wasn't paying attention. I had so much going on. I was working like 60, 70 hours a week combined. Alex, I got my hopes up that you wouldn't do this. That you wouldn't do what? Risen Sparrow, if you haven't been here, go watch this stream. I have not been attacking Jake. I'm not attacking Jake. He's completely in the right to not, keep me banned and not discuss this ever again. That's why I'm making this live stream, so it doesn't have to go back and forth, just to completely clear the air. That's all this is. I promise you, man. What's the beef with Sean at Reserved Investments? Like you both a lot. Jake, not so much. No beef. I made one response video to him before on my channel, just to give different points. I didn't attack Sean. I said I respect Sean and his opinions in that video. No beef. Guys, just because I make response videos to people and show the other side of the argument, I don't think I'm having beef with anyone. Maybe they see it that way. I don't know. Like, maybe I need to, get more understanding of all this sensitivity stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right. Let's see. Alex, at least you know the ball is in your court. You no longer have to talk on his channel. If he wants to talk, have him on. You join live stream. Yeah, Jake, you're always welcome on my stream. Pokéknowledges. Always happy to come back on any of yours. No bad blood. I'm sure there's bad blood with them against me, but no bad blood here. Just trying to have some fun debates, trying to enjoy the hobby in my own way, I guess. Some people like to open the cards and enjoy the artwork and collect artists. Some people like to, track down all the artists and get their signatures. Some people like singles. Some people like grading. Some people like sealed products. Some people like to play the game and compete. Some people like to just be a part of the community and like have a friendship and a bond and go to events and do that stuff. Like, I like to invest and make content. To each their own. That's all I can say. Excited to see you on the next live, Mr. Walrus. You know what, Mr. Walrus? I think that would make for a great live, man. Just seeing your comments. We need to make that happen. Reach out to me on Instagram, man. Let's see. Jake the Snake. Admit it. You guys are faking drama for views. I mean, I wish. I wish. It's working. Jake literally said anyone with an opposite opinion to me is just wrong. Literally said that. I've heard him say that multiple times on multiple different topics too. Be Purple Poker. Again, he'll probably deny it, but I've heard that as well. Oh gosh, dang it. Lost the spot again. Hold up. All right, found it. Debating in the chat helped you get onto the live, not prove your point. Overall, you shouldn't apologize and you make great points. My only criticism is that the chat isn't the best medium for debate. Okay, I'll agree with that. But somewhat, Leafing Goblin, I somewhat agree with that. Like with that new, especially like what I'm doing here, this is like a good form of debate, right? I'm answering your questions. We're going back and forth. Especially how Jake brings those comments up on the screen and, hashes those out and then, he'll ask for more clarity and I'll make another one. I think it is somewhat a form of good debate. Not the best form by any means, but there's something there. I mean, I don't think it's completely trash. I don't know. Let's see. Doesn't give an F about Pokemon collectibles. Won't tell you what cards he's bullish and where and bullish and why. Be Purple Poker, man. Come on. I mean, dude, I love you, dude, but I think he gives an F about collectibles and Pokemon. I mean, that's one thing I can't say Jake doesn't do. I think he definitely cares. You talking about him for hours, which is crazy, but you are not attacking him. No, I'm not going to. I'll attack his opinions and his views on the hobby all day long, but I'll never attack him. Why? Why would I attack him as a person? I know he felt that attacking his Patreon was attacking him as a person, but I'm attacking the, what I feel the advice that he's giving on his channel, which I think is spilling over into Patreon that people are paying for, which is wrong advice. So it's kind of like a double loss. That's what I was attacking, not him. With that being said, I'm not sure Jake wants to debate, which is another discussion. That's fine. It's fine. We don't have to debate again. We've done it multiple times. It never really gets anywhere. It's fine. I like your comment. I'm playing devil's advocate too. Hey, all good. I'm glad someone is. I welcome that on my channel. We would get along better with Alex. Sensitive people are tough to get along with. Yeah, I don't know what to say and not to say sometimes, I guess. Did you see Northwoods' new video? I have not. I'll address this right now. Northwoods did leave a comment on my last video. I haven't had time to go through all my comments yet. I plan to, but he kind of said, hey, I'm not against you. I made a couple of videos, discussing like the differences of opinions I had on some of the things you said, like the card shop thing. And he kind of like just kind of put his case out there. And I guess I took it wrong. But he said that he told me on Instagram that one of his mods must have deleted my comments from his video. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just not about silencing. I'm not about comment deleting or, banning or anything like that. So I just don't agree with that stuff. But hey, if Northwoods isn't like just in part of the echo chamber and doesn't agree with all those guys say, then hey, he's cool in my book. I haven't seen his new video yet, so I don't know what's going on with all that. I haven't talked to him much lately, but I have nothing major against him. I just got that feeling he was starting to make a lot of response videos to what I was saying negatively. My comments were mysteriously getting deleted, but then he came out and said it wasn't him. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Again, I'm just going to leave it at that. You seem like a collector, Mr. Walrus. I'm excited for that. Let's see. Jake is probably a tiny hat person. Seems that way. Okay. I'm going to buy 10 of everything. Sell one of each every 5 years. And when my kids graduate, they get one of everything. I hope I raise them to be smart and just sell off weak sets. My oldest is 2. That sounds like a good idea. I can't wait to see how that turns out. Jonathan Biggs. Well, I get to watch 2 response videos today. Alex, I'm looking forward to your video and views. Best of luck. I'm starting from the beginning. Yeah, man. Enjoy. You accept Northwood's apology? Didn't seem like he apologized to you, more like backpedaled. No one's got to apologize to me. All right. Apologize for what? Whoever deletes comments, I think I'd accept an apology for that. If he or he knows who did, I definitely would accept that apology. But for making a video calling me out, the same thing I do to Jake or Pokenomics, you never got to apologize for me for that. Ever. Never do it. I actually hope you don't apologize for having a difference of opinion. But like I said, when you start banning and deleting comments, that's when I kind of take another direction. Like, hey, that's not cool. Because again, I have means to have a channel and get the word out there. All the other people getting banned do not. They just get silenced forever. Jake mentioned he pick up tons of Chilling Reign boxes at $70. Did you ever see boxes going for that price on eBay, or does he have access to distributor prices? Again, not calling Jake a liar. Never saw that. Distributor prices were not $70. They were more than that. And the lowest I saw was 80. I bought in 79 or 80. I bought in at like 79 or 80, depending on Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike. I can't remember which ones I paid which for, but I paid 79 to 80 for all 3 of those sets on all the cases I bought. So I never saw 70. But he's friends with Dan, their business partner. So Dan may have been getting some crazy distributor pricing or something. I don't know. Jake's got connections. Maybe he did. Certainly not public sales. Certainly you could not have got those prices, because I never saw anything like that on the open market. Northwoods just published a hit piece on you, Alex. Okay. Yeah, if you're being serious, all right. If it's a joke, that's cool too. I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know why he would have after leaving those comments or reaching out to me on Instagram, but okay. pretty active in the sports car world. Started to find myself wandering into the TCG world. Any basic tips? Basic tips. Like I tell everyone, if you don't got a lot of time on your hands and you're looking for the safest bet, it's going to be modern booster boxes at or under retail. If you got time on your hands and you've got some knowledge and you start to learn things, buying lots and collections and flipping them, you doing the legwork for the people that didn't want to do it, and making those margins and then using that to build your collection for free, that's going to be your best option. That's kind of the basic as I can get, Noah. Restock shock. How much do you invest per set, or do you try to invest on the sets you believe in for modern? Yeah, so I invest in every set now. How much? That varies, sometimes as low as 2 cases, sometimes as many as 10, 15 cases. So it just depends. It just depends on what price I can get them for, how I feel about the set. Scarlet Violet will not be a 10, 15 case set. I'll tell you that. Your last video was so good. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Wish Nikki, appreciate it. Jake said he has over 1 mil collection. Has he proved this? Because this dude looks like he still lives with mom. I don't think he's ever proved it, but I have no reason to doubt him. My collection, when I sold out, it was worth upwards between like 300,000 and 400,000, and I was not a big player back then at all. Like, in my opinion, I wasn't, but because of the boom, it catapulted everything to like thousands of % returns. And so 30 grand turned into like 300-400 grand type thing. So yeah, if he had a good amount more than me, which he had inheritance to play with, I don't doubt him. I don't doubt him. I've seen it firsthand what me and a friend of mine were able to do with what little we had to invest. So yeah, it's possible. Very possible. It's likely. I would say it's likely he really has what he has. I don't have a lot of money, but I invested and collect a certain vintage card, and I'm about 5K into the certain card. Obviously, I would have bought Ultra Modern Sealed. I would be up a lot. Yeah. But hey, so there's 2 sides to that, right? Yeah, you could have made more like return investing in Modern Sealed, but there are some cards in vintage that, may never be as low as they are again, right? So even though they may stay stagnant or rise up slowly, maybe if you want that card for your collection, you might never find it that low again. Maybe it is time for you to buy, right? I showed slabs, and Jake gave me a hard time about it. I showed some vintage slabs. I had some first edition base slabs, and I bought them because I felt like they had fallen so far that if I want to own them for my life, if I want to have that in my collection, I don't think I might be able to ever get it cheaper again. And so I moved in on some of them. Do I think now, if I had to choose, someone put a gun to my head and said, put your money where you see the best returns, I wouldn't have bought those. I'd have bought Modern Sealed. But at the same time, it's well, I don't want to have to pay, 50% more or 100% more for those same cards in the future when I want them, because I know I want them for my long-term collection. And so, yeah, so I made the decision to buy some. So there's always that side of it. If you're buying for a collection, you might want to buy some stuff sometimes. I get it. All right. But the price of vintage cards would have been higher, and it's a tough card to find, so I wouldn't be able to find as many as I did. Yeah, people roll poker. Exactly. Sometimes those rare cards, you might want to just move in, even if the returns aren't going to be as great right away. You might not be able to find it cheaper in the future, possibly. I get it. Let's see. What do you think of selling cards or sealed on a bid? Do you prefer bids or buy it now? Bids are risky, if it's something that's really, that's moving really well and getting tons of sales all around the same, you're probably safe. If it's more of an obscure item or an older box that don't only have a couple of sales a week, I wouldn't do it. I understand if you're in need of money, a quick infusion of cash and need to do it, go for it, but I wouldn't do it. That's just me. Bids often go low. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Now during the hype, you see bids go higher than when you could buy things buy it now. In times of that craziness, yeah, that was an actual bubble or mania phase. I know Jake talks about we're always in a bubble. Yeah, back when you saw jungle Pikachus going for hundreds of dollars in PSA graded, and you saw base that Charizard go to 7K for an unlimited 9 or whatever. That's the true bubble when he goes whoop whoop. The slow, steady growth like we're seeing right now, it's not. I don't consider that a bubble. All right. Let's see. So in the end of the day, in my opinion, yes, Modern Seal is probably the most investable thing, booster boxes specifically. But man, if anyone out there actually cares about rare cards 2 to 3 years down the line, who knows? Yeah, true. Don't overthink the sensitive stuff. I like how you present. If your response videos are taken that way, they're probably projecting, possibly. Never apologize and do not get more sensitive. Do you and be confident. I will. I'm not changing. Let's see. Walrus fans be on PK's live. Tune in. He knows. Honestly, it would be awesome if you guys could agree and do a live together once a month and talk markets. You both have valuable information viewed towards a hobby and interest. I agree, Jonathan. I'd love if we could work something like that out, but I don't think Jake's on the same side of that. So it is what it is. I want to see a debate with someone more bullish. Those lives are fire, honestly. God, that's the thing. Like, that's what's so funny about it. Go to Jake's channel, everyone, and look at his lives and sort it by most popular first. All of the lives I'm in, they're all in the top 10. They're all in the top 10 most viewed every time I'm on his channel. So I don't know why he's so against the debates. It's weird. Like, it's obviously what the audience wants to see, but it's his channel. I'm not saying anyone has to apologize or be more or less sensitive. I'm just saying everyone should drop it, agree to disagree. Yeah, that's what we're doing, Sparrow. We're dropping it right now. I'm just kind of airing everything out, and we're going to drop it. My next video is not going to be anything about this stuff. Jake is a manipulative person by nature, easy to see. He is also a therapist and does his little liberal mind tricks to weasel out of debates and trick people. I agree with that. Not like trying to attack him with the whole like, liberal and stuff, but he's very like calculated and manipulative with how he structures and positions himself in the debates and where he takes the conversation. He's very good at it. And I noticed that, and I'm able to stick with them. But when there's 2 other people and they're constantly interrupting me, when there's like always 4 people in those debates, that's where I lose it. I can never get them down to speak in the to keep them on track and on subject. And so that's why it's pointless. It's futile to go through these 4-person debates, because I agree with that. Jake's very good at it. And it's a skill. It's you can say it as like a negative thing, like manipulative, but it's actually a skill. Like it's being able to structure and position yourself in the conversation and make the conversation go the way you want it. And he's good at it. But and I'm happy to debate that style, but I can't do it with so many people in the video constantly butting in. It's too hard. I can't keep them on track. How are you going to deal with the adjustment in retail price Pokemon booster boxes? When do you think is a good money position to purchase the new MSRP if it's $161 a box? I don't know. It's looking like, I think you can get cases in the value of like in the 100 and teens a box, 115 to 117 a box maybe. You make it down in the low hundreds. Not sure. I'm really not sure yet. That's why I'm really kind of easing into this Scarlet Violet. We got silver borders. We got easy pull rates. We got, like a lot more being printed because Pokemon's been saving up ready for this. We have that going on with the whole new MSRP. So there's a lot of changes, and I don't like to jump into things before I really get a sense of what's going on. So I'm just kind of watching on the sidelines and seeing how this all works out. So I really don't know right now. I'm going to guess in the hundreds to low 100 teens is where we see it settle. Let's see. Oh, dang, we still live? Yeah, what are we? 2 hours? Have I really been live for 2 hours? Okay. Yeah, we're still live. I'll wrap it up here soon. I didn't even know I was going this long. That's crazy. I love your channel, Jake's, Mason's, Northwoods. I don't watch any of your channels for drama. I watch specifically for different opinions. I love the energy and vibes. Can't we all just let it go? Hey, I get it, Risen Sparrow. Everyone wants different things. Yeah, I mean, as far as drama goes, if that means, calling people out on their, opinions and how they view the hobby, I mean, I don't think I'll ever 100% let that go, to be honest with you. I'm always going to, if I see things I disagree with or I think are disingenuous or harmful to the community, I'm always going to make videos calling those differentiating opinions out. So yeah, it's always going to be a part of my channel, man. I guess skip those videos. Sorry. But I'm going to switch up the content. Like I said, I'm going to have less of that, bring back lives, have some box breaks. We're going to have some fun. Remember, Alex, you weren't a MMA star, so they're kind of soft. Oh, they weren't an MMA star. I wasn't an MMA star either. I never made it to that point. But yeah, I get it. Some people are softer. I get it. I mean, anyone who played like hockey, I mean, oh my gosh, if you want to get thick skin, man, go hang out in a hockey locker room. You know, that's you'll get freaking torn apart in there. You have no choice but to get tough. Guys, Jake isn't so bad. He's a good guy. Mason, on the other hand, just kidding. I like Mason. They're all good guys. I just don't agree with what they said. I mean, Mason, I don't agree with a ton of the stuff Mason says or the way he manipulates people into, you know, thinking his way. I'm not going to get into Mason, but they're all good guys. I don't have anything against him as a person. Oh, come on. Really? Again? Sorry, guys. Constantly losing the chat. Constantly losing the chat. I'm gonna try to wrap it up here soon. I don't want to go much longer. Let me try to find where I was at. Okay. All right. See, yeah, I got some Chilling Rain for 80. Yeah, that's what I got it for right there, 79.80. A lot of people like Mason. Hey, yeah, I'm happy. You know, you guys are Mason's fans. Like, I used to watch Mason. I don't much anymore. I just don't agree with a lot of stuff he says. But yeah, he's got a lot of cool videos about, you know, running a card shop and stuff, which I think is very helpful. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad you guys, you know, find value with Mason. Wish Crown Zenith wasn't so high. I'd love to open some more. Yeah, I mean, it's not so high, is it? I mean, I think it's all a lesser rise than Celebrations did out of the gate, didn't it? I'm not sure. I can't really remember, but yeah, it's a little higher than it was. Buy low, sell high. Let's see. I couldn't get through Jake's response video. He is way too into himself. He definitely thinks he's in the right a lot of the time. What is the minimum you would put into a weak set like Scarlet Violet base? Personally, I came in on $110 per box, 13 times boxes total. I think that's a safe bet. Could it go a little lower? Probably it could. May it not? Probably maybe not. Like I said, in 3 to 5 years, I know I say that a lot, but in 3 to 5 years, it probably won't matter. You know, if you got in this dollar amount or that dollar amount, anything within that whole range, you're probably going to be fine by that time. So that's how I feel about it. Hell yeah, we need more debates with Jake and Alex. I agree, man. I'll be honest. The debate you guys have with each other are really good. Hopefully y'all can just move on and get over the conversation. I've already moved on. This is it. Like, I'm not going to bring it up anymore. So if Jake ever wants to do something again, I'm always down to it. No hard feelings. If not, that's cool too. I just wish he would stop banning people. Like he said, 20, 25 people. You know, you can keep me banned, but dude, just unban all those people that don't have channels. Like they don't deserve to be silenced. Like the video, y'all. Love it or hate it. We need more of these lives. I agree. Since you've been in the hobby since XY, what's your favorite era since XY till now? You know, I think Sword and Shield is going to be the most popular era. I think it's like that weird nostalgia thing. Like, because I came up in base set, you know, I like WotC, like Jungle Fossil base, and like up to like the gyms. And then like, because I got back in XY, I like XY. A lot of people don't like it, but I still really like XY. I like the full arts. I just like the art on the cards. I like how the XY sets, most of them are centered around either Gen 1 or Gen 2 Pokemon, which I like. So that's why I like XY, you know, like Alakazam and Fates Collide, Mewtwo and Breakthrough and Charizard and Flashfire and, you know, Gengar and Phantom Forces. I like how it's based around like Gen 1 starter or Gen 1 Pokemons. That's why I like XY. And maybe because that's what brought me back in the hobby. I don't know. Just that weird nostalgia factor. Jake did not convince me that he's not in a cabal. Me either. Show a cool vintage slab in your collection you like at some point in the video. I mean, I did. I showed one of my cases, but yeah, I can show some. Let's see. Do you believe in the possible future yellow tax for an old era years from now? Man, I have no idea. We're going to find out. We just want to talk about cardboard in relation to money and supply and demand. Sheesh. Exactly. Mason told me not to buy out all the Costco mini tins at $20. I'm glad I didn't listen to him. Remember that video Twice Big Jake made saying not to buy About Me Skies when it was like 220 to 250? That was a banger. Man, dude, I can't like hate on him for that though. I mean, I probably would have been saying the same thing. Like 220 to 250, like you'd be thinking a reprint would be coming at that point, but it didn't. I mean, it's hard to jump in a modern product less than a year old at 150% gain already. That's tough for anyone. So I don't hold that against him. I think Yellow Tax is coming. All right, I made it to the end of the chat. Who's still here? 71 people. So anyone watching this video after the fact, anyone who stayed through this, really appreciate you taking the time. Kind of in conclusion, look, Jake has the right to keep me banned. He can do his own thing on his channel. He can have the voices and opinions he wants on, and that's fine. I wasn't attacking him as a person. I won't attack him as a person. I was only attacking his views on the hobby and opinions and statements he's made and predictions he's made being wrong. And that's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, my next video is gonna be on just Pokemon again. It's not gonna have anything to do with this. People tell me about this Northwoods video. I guess I'll have to watch that. Hopefully it's not bad. I really don't want to go back and forth on these response videos, but we'll see what happens. Thanks everyone for all the support. Appreciate everything. And I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out, guys. Enjoy your Easter weekend.